What's going on, guys? I'm just going to try to give y'all a little heads up, a little tip on tanks that leak. We all know they're manufactured, most 99% of them, all but about one brand, two brands are welded. Two of them's roto molded. So the welded tanks, yeah, from time to time, they gonna leak. It's just the way it is. Anything that's manufactured by hand, whether it's an $800 bait tank or an $80,000 pickup truck, we're gonna have issues. So let me show you something. I'm gonna show you on one of our tanks. It's a 40-gallon Shad. I'm gonna show y'all. If this divider wall right here, if it's split, all that's gonna do is the water's gonna get back out of the filter area. It ain't gonna go out here. If that divider wall is split, it's just gonna come right back here. That divider wall is literally curled in there in a slot right down here, welded on the inside. If this weld here fails, the water's just gonna come in here. Fairly easy fix. If you have water coming out of here, out of this outside weld on the outside, it's a whole different ball game. Let me tell you why. Here I got some walls pre-made, so let's talk about it. This is your inner wall, this is your outer wall. If you're getting water on this weld that's outside, what does that mean? This inside was leaking. It's not the outside, it's the inside. The water's in here. So when guys are repairing these tanks out here to hold the water in, you're really just filling this up. And even if it's a small minor leak, it's not going to fill it up. There's going to be some water in there. For us weekend guys that fish just every once in a while, when that water stays in there for 2 or 3 weeks or a month, you know what happens? It's funky. Some bacteria growing in it. You go work hard for your money, buy you a cast net, go out there, catch you some bait, throw it in your tank. 3 hours later, it's dead. I got plenty of air. Shoot, I even got that circulation thing that makes them live. But they died. They died. Remember that funky water in there? It oozed back in there. Now you got a bucket full of dead bait. So what I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you a way to fix it. Is it going to leak? Yes, it's going to leak. You don't want that water in between them walls. You don't. I promise you don't. It's going to freeze. Could bust your tank. But that's just minor. It's when you go out there and work hard to get that bait and you kill it. But I'm going to show you how to fix it. I'm going to show you how you can keep your tank and operate it. It ain't going to fix it. It's still going to leak. And just let it leak. Don't trap that water in there. Don't trap it. But I'm going to show you a way, if you decide to trap your water, how to get it out. See this little jewel here? It's nothing but a through-hole fitting. A 3/4 through-hole fitting. And what we're going to do with this, we're going to get that water out between them walls. You know how? We're going to put that through-hole fitting in there like that. Huh? You're going to drill your hole down to the bottom. You're going to put your through-hole fitting. You're going to put some 5200. That 5200 is not going to seal it all the time. Eventually, that's going to break up. This is HDPE plastic. Hardly anything sticks to it. I promise you. You can glue it together with the best glue in the world. It's going to break. It ain't going to stick. So when you put this through-hole fitting in, put you some 5200 around it. Don't cake it on there. Nice and smooth, just a little bit. Wipe it off. It'll work. It'll work for months. It's eventually going to have to be resealed. But here's the ticket. Before you put this thing in, you drill you some holes in it. Just like that. Just like that. And I don't care if you decide to put the plug on the inside or the outside. But when you pull that plug to either drain your tank, or it's wintertime and you really don't want this water in your boat making it icy, put it right here. That's fine. Pull that plug at the end of the day, or when you're fishing, through fishing, tilt that tank up and get that water out of there. It's going to drain out of them holes, because you see what I'm saying? These holes are between them walls. Huh? That'll fix it. If you decide that you're gonna get your tank fixed and you're gonna let them remanufacture your tank and upgrade it and fix these leaks, guys, don't seal that water in there. You're gonna be hating yourself. When you're out there throwing that net for a couple hours and you got you a whole bunch of nice pretty gizzards in there and you get to where you fishing, and if you're a cat fisherman, you know, you done got where you're going, throw the anchors out, you look in here and you're like, boy, I sure do wish that's swimming. They gonna work cut, but I wish that's swimming. But you striper boys, you done work hard. You've cleaned this bait out and you've cleaned them filters, and I mean, you've put some time into it, and you pull up down there and you fixing to come up on that point and you open that lid, dead bait. You know the next words that come out of your mouth. You're gonna call that guy right there because he sold you a piece of junk. It won't even keep bait alive. You got air coming out. Got a little bit of that. Well, no, you ain't got no circulation in here because they don't live in circulation. But if you got one of those tanks that does this, it's circulating and I got air. Shoot, they died. It's his fault. I'm gonna call him. Sure enough. But in fact, you've got that tank that's remanufactured and that water's in here. Don't keep that water in here, folks. Get it out. Let it out. Don't keep it. So at the end of the day, don't trap that water in them walls. You're not going to be happy at all. Go ahead if you want to. Get it remanufactured and get it welded up and get it sealed off. Remember, that water is in between them walls. Get rid of it. Stick that in there. Drill the holes in there. 5200, remember, it's not a permanent fix. The 5200 will eventually break loose. You will have to replace it. It's just a nut. Just unscrew it, wipe it, clean it off, and redo it. It's just that easy. It ain't that hard to reseal it. It really ain't. But this is not, that's not, you're not gonna put that in there and it being permanent. It just ain't gonna happen. So don't trap that water in them walls. You're not gonna be happy. Y'all have a good evening.